Great morning, great morning, great morning. You guys come on in, come on in, come on in, and we're going to get started. Come on in. Hey, 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 you guys. Great morning. Let me share the broadcast. You guys come on in. Make sure you let me know who's here and where you're tuning in from. Who's here and where you are tuning in from. Hey, sissy, how are you, beautiful? So good to see you. Yes, yes. Who else is here? I see my sister in the house. My baby sister in the my younger sister in the house. My baby sister is much younger. Y'all let me know who's here. Let me know who's here. All right, all right. Great morning, you guys. Great morning. Listen, I need y'all to do me a favor. Go ahead and share the broadcast. Go ahead and share the broadcast. Let the folks know that I'm live, honey, and in person. I am live. Let them know. Let them know. And we're going to get started shortly. Y'all come on through. Come on through. Come on through. Hey, Frida, how are you, gorgeous? So good to see you. Hey, Tim, surprise, Florida in the house. Good morning, Carrie Ray Vaughn. How are you, cousin? Good to see you. Good to see you. Listen, y'all do me a favor. Share the broadcast with someone or someone's or on your page. Let people know that I'm live because people need this word. One of the things that we struggle with is flow. So go ahead and share the broadcast and let me know once you shared. Hey, April, how you doing? Hey, Zach, how are you doing, baby? Good to see you. Y'all go ahead and share. When you've shared, put shared in the comments. Let me know you shared, and I'm going to go ahead and get started with today's word. Y'all, this word about to be fire. I need y'all to get ready. It's about to be fire. About to be fire. Okay, hold on, hold on. Let me turn this down. I'm trying to make sure I can see comments in different places. Okay. All right, all right. Let me know when you shared. Y'all know this thing has a serious delay on it. So y'all bear with me. Bear with me. Bear with me. Bear with me. Oh, it's really delayed. Okay, there we go. All right. Thank you, April. Thank you, Frida. Thank you, Tim. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and get started. Okay, so listen, today's word is stay in the flow. Stay in the flow. One of the biggest mistakes that we make in our life is we try to force things, situations, relationships, opportunities, businesses. We engage in a lot of force. It's our attempt at controlling our life, our attempt at controlling the things that are going on around us and the people around us. But I need you to hear me. It is imperative. That means it's crucial. It means it's not optional that you stay in the flow. Stay in the flow. So I do this whole series, this whole workshop series about flow, right? And what flow is. And I want to talk to y'all about flow. I'm gonna just give y'all the basics of what flow is, and then I want to talk to you all about why it's so important for us right now in this month to stay in flow. Hey, Eileen, how are you, gorgeous? Okay, so let me just see. Let me see if I have the acronym in my banners. I don't. So let me start. Hey, Corey. So, first of all, the F in flow is find yourself. Find yourself. You can't be in flow if you don't know who you are. You can't be in flow if you're not in touch with yourself. You can't be in flow if you don't have a clear sense of your identity. You can't be in flow. Why? Flow is you being in alignment with the creator, right? And the creator's plan for your life and what the creator is doing at this time in this space in your life. But you got to know you, baby. You got to know you. You need to find you. Find you. And I say find you because many of us lose ourselves to other people, jobs, situations, relationships. We lose our whole sense of self. We lose who we are, attempting to be what other people want us to be or need us to be, or we feel like we should be. You got to find yourself. So the F in flow is find yourself. Let me just go on and create these banners real quick. F, y'all just bear with me. Find yourself. Okay. Oh man. Hold on, y'all. I don't have enough banners left. Hold on. I didn't know I was going to be talking about this today. Okay, maybe this will do it. Hopefully this will do it. Hopefully this will do it. Okay. All right. So you want to find yourself. Bam. F. Find yourself. Find yourself. Now, y'all may say, Dr. V, well, how do I find myself? How do I do that? What does that look like? It looks like getting real with you about you, getting real with you about you, like really getting to the point where you are honest with yourself about what you like, what you don't like, what you desire in your life, what you don't desire. Um, those relationships that are positive and producing positive things in your life versus those that are not, like really getting honest with you, your personality type, your learning style, your love language, your saboteurs, like understanding all these different pieces that make you you. Okay, so you got to find you. You got to find you, right? And this is the beautiful thing about finding you. You normally, when you're being put in flow, when God is putting you in flow, you go through a season where you're isolated, where you have to find you. You have to learn you. I done spilled my coffee, Jesus. Lord, y'all. I done got excited and I spilled my coffee, forgot the top wasn't on it. Somebody help me, y'all. Listen. Oh, the devil mad about that, honey. Oh my goodness. And it was hot. I feel like when you be at McDonald's and you spill the coffee and they like forget to tell you that it's hot. It's hot. Hold on, y'all. Oh, that was not cute, honey. That hurt. My, uh, oh my goodness. Oh, on my new cover, honey. Oh, Jesus, honey. Fix it, Jesus. Fix it. Okay. So listen. You got to find you. You've got to know who you are, how you like to be loved, like how you like to be appreciated, how you like to be treated, how you like what you like to do, what you enjoy. Be honest about your personality. Listen, I know my church folks will feel some type of way about this, but it's your business. Okay, because a lot of times, in the body of Christ, people talk about, oh, my sign is Jesus. Okay, I get it because when we are in him, we are a new creature, right? A new creation, a new creature. But y'all, can I be honest with y'all? There are some personality traits and some tendencies that arise from the time that we were born, the day, the time, the year, the positioning of the planets and the stars. Listen, I'm not talking about no hocus pocus. I'm talking about an intentional God who created a world full of patterns, right? So I'm just talking about the patterns. It doesn't dictate, it doesn't determine, but you can see similarities that exist. Hey, beautiful, how are you? So listen, I know because of when I was born. Hey, Jackie, how are you, gorgeous? I was born in the month of August, okay? August, fire sign, right? A Leo, on the cusp of Leo and Virgo. And many of the characteristics of Leos and Virgos I possess. I've had to overcome some challenges as a result of those particular characteristics, right? Leos, anybody knows anything about Leos, know Leos like to be in charge. Leo is the lion. Leos are protective. They're very loving. They're very giving. They will give you their last, but if they ever feel like you taking them for granted, or like, they don't do well with that, right? You get cut up somewhere, left in pieces in a corner somewhere. But Leos can be very self-involved, right? Self-involved. It's about me, 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 right? Understanding that about my sign, understanding that about me, then you add to that my personality type. I'm a campaigner. You add to that my strengths. My strengths are all about me being center stage, about me leading people and people following me. So listen, it can be a recipe for disaster or a recipe for greatness. Now, right now, we see, and I don't know, let me see something real quick. Um, right now, I know that in order, one of the things that I had to overcome in order for me to, and I still consciously, actively pay attention to it, I have to make sure that as I'm moving, as I'm doing things, that I'm cognizant, that I am aware of me and of my motivation. Because I want to make sure that I am doing what I need to do the way I'm supposed to do it. Hold on. Hold on. I knew it. Let me tell you something. This how you I'll give you an example. Okay? Right now, we are hearing a lot about Deion Sanders, Coach Prime, right? Now listen, listen. I just had to check, right? Because his personality seems very similar to mine, right? So I just needed to check. I just needed to check, and sure enough, guess when he was born? August 9th. He is a Leo. Leos take charge. They change things. They'll change the world, baby. And they believe in them, baby. They believe in them. Okay. Listen. Hey, class. How are you, gorgeous? So when he shows up on the scene, right? Anything he's attached to, he's going to move it forward. Anything he's attached to, he's going to bring it visibility. He's going to change lives. He's going to inspire people. He's going to motivate people. He's going to improve situations and circumstances. That's he's going to do that, right? But when he leaves, the people that he helped will very often resent him for leaving because they want to keep him. Listen to me. I could not understand why when I would go places and when it was time for me to leave, because we on God's time. We're not on our time. And he's been very clear about this. He went to Jackson State because God told him to go. You understand? It wasn't that he was going to be making so much money, right? But he had an assignment. See, what we tend to do is we want to make people stay past the time of their assignment. So he accomplished what he was sent to accomplish. Listen, the team grew. He brought visibility to not only Jackson State, but to HBCUs in general, to the SWAC conference, and he got Jackson State a championship. He did all of that. His assignment was up. His decision to go to Colorado has now put him in the crossfires of Black people, people who know professional athlete has gone to coach before, but he comes and they want him to stay forever. No, that's not how it works. You can say what you want. You can say, oh, it's just about the money. And if it was just about the money, it's his right. It's his prerogative to do that. Like, he brought attention to Jackson State. He brought attention to HBCUs, and he sold into it. He didn't come with just his words. He brought his kids. Do you understand what I'm telling you? But people will look at him and be like, oh, he's so arrogant. It's just about him. It's not just about him, but there's a reason that God gave him the visibility that he gave him the ability to draw people that he gave him the assignment that he gave him, and now has given him the next assignment. Because listen, God specializes in taking underdogs and bringing them to the forefront. He specializes in taking situations that people say cannot be anything else and changing them. Oh, God specializes in it. Okay. So Prime has an assignment. He is on assignment with God. And listen, he's sick of people. I said what I said. He's sick of people. People love you when you do what they want you to do. They love you when you're doing what they think you should do. But when you do what you've been called to do, and it's not in alignment with what they want or think, this is why you got to find you to stay in your flow. Baby, you better know who you are. One thing I love about Coach Prime is Prime know who he is. He ain't moved by that. But you don't want him on that other side. And I feel like what's happened is we've been seeing the results of this stuff people are doing and saying. So when he's saying, come on, I need y'all to speed this up. Okay? Because I'm tired. Like, I done been through this stuff. Like, I'm trying to hold it together, but I know me. Okay? So I need y'all to come on. I know y'all want me to just sit back, but my time is valuable too. Yes, this is a great accomplishment and it is a great moment, but this moment is just that, it is a moment. And we don't need to stay in the moment. We need to honor the moment, and then we need to move forward. I can't say everything the man is going through, but I'm going to tell you what, this is what I sense in the spirit, right? That God has given him this assignment. And instead of people looking at it for what it is, God literally took these Black athletes, professional athletes, football players, who, when they're done playing, fall out of existence, and has given them a route into coaching. Listen to me. Imagine if you take your experience and your expertise and you take it to HBCUs and you begin to pour into them these things that will allow these kids to move forward and gain visibility for the. He just opened a new pathway to coaching. With his arrogant, self-centered, selfish, non-concerned about Black people self. Now, I'm not saying I believe that, but that's what some people are saying. Okay. Listen, this man was real clear about his assignment and real clear about pouring into Black kids. But do you know Black kids are at predominantly white institutions too? Do you know that the coaching field has been so limited in terms of the presence and the success of African Americans, although African Americans make up 80% of most football teams? 80%, right? But the coaching staff is 90% white. How does that make sense? When God gives you an assignment, people won't always understand the assignment, but you got to take the assignment. And when one part comes to an end, being in flow, when you find you, then you can do what you need to do. Now, I know people won't necessarily agree with it and people have their opinions, but this man's life. This is his journey. And he's been real clear about God's role in his journey. He was clear about God's role in the journey when he sacrificed his money to build a state of the art institution for those kids. Like he was, oh, that was fine. But now he don't hear God because God is not saying what we think God should say. Y'all, that's some bull crap. But if you don't know you'll allow people and their opinions to cause you to move out of your flow. If this man stayed at Jackson State, he would be out of his flow. He would be out of his flow. They did it to Jesus. Lord, Lord, then crucify him. Absolutely. Thanks, sis. Listen, I'm telling y'all, good morning, Mike. So we've got to understand that you can't dictate someone else's assignment. Prime example, no pun intended, but prime example. When I left Florida and moved to North Carolina to live with my daddy, who I had not met yet, right? My daddy, my other mama, my sister, my niece. When I left Florida, I left my children who were living in Florida, who were not babies, right? My youngest was 17 at the time. And he said, Mama, you should go. You deserve the opportunity to get to know your daddy. You deserve that. You got to do this for you. He got it. There were people who didn't get it. There were people who had opinions about it. There were people who felt like I was crazy to move to a place with some people that I didn't know, right? Felt some way. Plus said, yes, Lord, help us. Don't let somebody's opinion move you out of your assignment. Exactly. So I left and I went and I did what God told me to do. Okay. My daughter didn't understand it. She didn't understand it. Her daddy didn't understand it. I'm sure other people didn't understand it, but it wasn't for them to understand because it was not their journey. Stop trying to control other people's journeys. If you don't understand it, sit back and shut up. Pray for them. If you think that they're mishearing God, pray for them. Don't feel like you got to voice your opinion and tell them, well, I don't think that you should do that. Shut up. Shut up. And let people take their, shut up. I didn't say be quiet because I'm not being nice about, shut up. Why you got all these opinions about somebody else's life? Well, if it was me, I would have. Would you really? Would you really? This man sacrificed for 2 years. So you telling me he don't deserve a reward for his sacrifice? Oh, he made sacrifices. Y'all think he didn't? He did. And yes, was he allowed to do some things? Yes, he was. But those things also brought visibility to the university. See, the thing about a good Leo, okay, let me just be real with you. We always gonna think outside of the box. And when people say it's never been done, we're gonna say, well, let's do it. Why not? Let's change the paradigm. Let's change lives. And lives have been changed. Lives have been changed. What y'all wanted the man to do? What did y'all want him to do? Lives have been changed. And now for time for to move on. And then I'm gonna tell y'all this too. Y'all can believe it or not believe it. Deion Sanders is a prophet of the Most High. Deion Sanders is a prophet of the Most High, and prophets can't stay in one place. Prophets cannot stay. Prophets have to move. Why? Because their assignment is bigger than one geographical region. It means that either they're going to do a lot of traveling or they're going to do a lot of moving. Every 2 to 3 years, you can expect to see movement. Either they're going to move or they're going to be doing a lot of traveling. It's just as the life of a prophet. Most prophets find themselves very mobile. Deion Sanders, I said what I said, I'm saying it publicly, is a prophet of the Most High God. He hears from God, he talks to God, God shows him things, God uses him. It's why he's been able to be ahead of the curve on a lot of things. Now, y'all may say, well, if he's a prophet, why has he had all these marriages? The same reason I have. Prophets see very well for other people, but they don't see as clearly for themselves. And that's just, it is what it is. Okay? The man is a prophet and he's on assignment. Get your mouth off his assignment. Because when you put your mouth on him, you put your mouth on God. Stop it. Stop it. Let God do what he's doing in his life. Stop it. Do not be a part of the conspiracy to destroy the belief that people have in themselves and their assignment and their ability to complete their assignments. Don't be a part of that. God is going to hold you accountable. You can disagree, but be careful with your mouth. What does the word say? Touch not mine anointed and do my prophets no harm. Be careful with your mouth and what you put in your mouth on. What's God and what's not God. As though you're God and you know everything. Now, we are gods with the lowercase g, but we're not God with the big G. We're not omniscient, all-knowing. That's why the word of God says we know in part and we prophesy in part. It's partial. It ain't complete. You can't see everything. But the man is a prophet. Listen. Shannon said, oh, wow, I tuned in late. And first 10 seconds, bam, between my eyes. The 11th commandment, shut thy mouth, period. The book of Dr. V, chapter 1, verse 1. Shut thine mouth, for thou knowest not what is going on. I'm just telling you. So the F in flow is find yourself. This man knows who he is. He knows his assignment. He knows, and he is not afraid to complete it, even though people got stuff to say. That's why you got to find yourself so you can know yourself, so you can stand when people try to tell you about yourself. He knows. He knows. I watched a clip and it showed him moving his wife off the stage. And she's like, well, don't be doing me like that. Girl, what did you coach? Why is you on this stage? What did you coach? Why are you on this stage? Get down. Get down off the stage. Okay? Just get down off the stage, baby. Just move out the way. Okay? Thank you very much. Thank you very much. She didn't need to be on the stage. And if he wanted her on the stage, he could have invited her to the stage. Ma'am, get down. Get down. This is not your time. This is not couple time. This prime time. Okay. I'm just telling y'all what I'm seeing. Okay. So people will have things to say about that. They'll say, oh, well, he just pushed her off the stage. Listen, why are you up here? Who else has their wife? What coach has their wife up on the platform when they're getting a trophy? Why do you think you're supposed to be up here? Sit down. See, that's verse 2, chapter 1, verse 2. Sit down. Sit down. Why are you up here? Sit down. This is not yet. Shut thine mouth and sit down. Okay? But you got to know who you are. You got to know who you are so that then you don't allow people to dictate to you who you are and how you are to show up and how you are to be and what you are to do. So that's the F. Find yourself. Now, we're talking about staying in flow, right? Stay in the flow. Stay in the flow of your life. Well, listen. Let's do the L. Okay, because I need y'all to catch this. Okay, the L. Here we go. Come on. Love yourself. Love yourself, flaws and all. Love yourself. Listen, if you haven't found yourself, you can't love yourself. You can love the idea of yourself. You can love people's perceptions of yourself, but you won't truly love yourself. I love me and I know I'm flawed. Okay, so this is what I'm telling y'all. You got to be able to love your flawed self, love your imperfectly perfect self, not this illusionary perfect self that you have created for the world, this representative that you send out into the world, the person that you desire to be, but you are not. No, I'm talking about love you. So let me just share this with y'all because I need y'all to understand this. Listen, I just am not that person. I'm not the person that's going to try to make you think I'm perfect. I'm not. I'm not the person that's going to try to pretend to be someone I'm not. I'm not. I'm going to be very honest with you. I love to sing, but do I have the best singing voice? I do not. Am I always going to be on key? Nope. Am I always going to know the words? I am not. Period. I'm just telling you, I'm going to make some words up. I'm going to be off key sometimes. It may hurt your ears a little bit sometimes, but I'm going to sing anyway. Period. Because why? I love me. I love me and I enjoy singing. I enjoy singing. I'm not the best singer. I'm not my sister, who is an incredible vocalist. I'm not her. But baby, I love to sing and I will break out into a song like that. Music is in my DNA. It's a part of my being. It's one of my multiple intelligences. I am very musical. I need music. Music, lights me up. Music sets my mood. Music shifts me. Music is key to my life. And I love that about me. I love that I can be teaching a class about anything and break out into a song. So before we get started with the class, I tell them in the beginning of the class, listen, I'm subject to break out into song. I'm just telling y'all. I mean, it ain't finna be no all church songs. It's not finna be that. It's finna be whatever song I feel like speaks most to what I'm trying to say and where I am. You got to love you, not just the good parts of you, not the parts that you've worked out and the parts that are just like God, but you got to be able to love every part of you while you're going through your transformation. I was talking to my daughter in love here. Okay. Now listen, I was talking to her mom. I met her mom and her aunt, her sister, and I think it was her sister or her cousin. I can't remember. But her mom eats ice. Who used to eat ice, y'all? That soft ice, that Sonic ice, that Wawa ice. Who used to eat ice? And baby, I loved my ice eating self. Baby, I didn't care how much they told me, oh, you anemic. That's a sign that you're anemic. Oh, that's not good for you. It's going to mess your teeth up. And it did. But that ain't the point. I was going to eat my ice while I craved the ice. I loved me while I ate the ice. Okay. And nobody could make me not eat the ice. I couldn't even make myself not eat the ice. Listen, I tried. I tried on some of the 21-day fast. I was fasting the ice, the good ice, the soft ice, the Wawa ice. I was fast. I might get through a day, possibly a day and a half, 2 days, right? After that, I need my ice. No, baby, I need my ice or I'm going to hurt somebody. It was serious for me. I need my ice. But one day, I looked up and I didn't want the ice anymore. I had just stopped eating the ice. I don't know when it happened. I don't know what transpired, but I had just stopped. And now I can go into Wawa and not feel like I got to get a cup of ice when I used to get 3 big reusable things of ice. Come on now. Listen, it's real. It's real. So hold on, y'all. Let me put on my do not disturb. Did I love myself more because I now was not eating ice? No, I love me whether I eat ice or I don't eat ice. I love me when I get it right and I love me when I get it wrong. I love me when I'm on point and I love me when I'm off. I love me when I feel good and I love me when I feel bad. I love me. I just love me. I've had to come to love me with my imperfect self. Listen, I am not a perfect parent. But I have tried throughout my life to be the best parent I could be at any given time with what I had in me, with the circumstances where I was emotionally. All I can do is do the best that I can where I am. Now, I'm not going to not love me because I wasn't the cookie baking mama, because that was not me. I wasn't baking the cookies. I wasn't. Okay. Oh, Carrie said, that's what happened after I got COVID. I stopped eating it. See, listen. So that wasn't me. I wasn't the mama that, I don't know, y'all. Listen, I've been several different mamas, but I just wasn't a traditional mama. I worked. I worked a job. I'm a professor. I have businesses. Like I'm doing all of these things. I just wasn't traditional. I wasn't what was considered a traditional stay-at-home mom. And when I tried to be that, I almost lost my mind. I was like, people want to do this? Oh, I don't want to do this. Y'all can talk about me if you want to, but I don't want to sit at home with the kids all day. I don't want to do this. I don't like this. This is not fun to me. I need a break. Somebody rescue me from these kids and this house. And I want adult communication. I want to do something that I feel like is productive for me. Now, that doesn't take anything away from someone who is a stay-at-home mom or stay-at-home dad. It doesn't take anything away from them at all. I'm simply telling you that when I did it, the time frame that I did it in, it almost drove me crazy. It almost drove me crazy. I had to do something else. But guess what? I loved me anyway. When you get to the point when you love yourself, regardless of what state you find yourself in, it is easier for God to create change in your life. If you know who you are, if you're clear on your identity, and you can love all the parts of you, all the aspects of you, okay? Even the parts that other people say are bad or they don't like or whatever. But if you can just love you, any transformation that is needed, God will be able to do it. Why? Because it is coming from a place of love and not a place of rejecting yourself, not a place of condemning yourself, not a place of beating up yourself. I refuse to ever beat myself up again. I'm not doing it. Why? I'm too God for that. I'm too God for that. God resides in me, and God is not going to beat himself up. He's not. Now, that doesn't mean that I'm too perfect. That's not what I'm saying. See, this is the thing. If God is in you and you're beating yourself up and you're condemning yourself, right? And you're talking about how horrible you are and inadequate you are and all the things that are wrong with you, but God is in you. Do you really love God? Because if you really love God, you'll love God in you. Now, this may not be popular, but if you don't love you, you can't love other people correctly. So when people tell you, oh, you need to love other people first and then love yourself, your love is tainted. It is flawed and it's probably toxic and controlling. And I said what I said. No, no, no. You got to love you, the flawed, imperfect you. You got to love you when you get it right, love you when you get it wrong. And in that way, you are also loving God, right? Look, if we could understand that God is not this existential being that exists outside of us, but God is very real and present in us, then maybe we'll treat each other different. Because when you say the God in me loves the God in you, that means that I'm not going to lie on you. I'm not going to mistreat you. I'm not going to try to take advantage of you. I'm not going to try to control you. I'm not going to do anything that would offend God in you, and vice versa. But as long as God is outside and we love God that's outside of us, then we cannot love each other because God is outside of us. I love God. Come on, y'all. Love yourself. You got to love yourself. So the F, you got to find yourself. You got to know who you are. And then the L is you got to love yourself. Well, flow is real. And y'all may not like this next one, but it's definitely what I've discovered to be my O in flow. And while not always the most popular, always very necessary. The O, obey God. Find yourself and love yourself, but obey God. Obey him. That means do what he tell you to do. Even if it's not popular, even if people talk about you, and even if people say all these negative, evil things about you and call you selfish and, say all manner of evil against you falsely, in fact, bless them because you're obeying God. Obeying God can be challenging because if people don't see it and they don't understand, they'll always have opinions about it. And they're going to tell you that you shouldn't this and you shouldn't that, and that ain't God and this ain't God. And have you don't even know God? Do you even know God? I don't think you know God because you don't look like you know God. Your life ain't looking like you know God. And I'm not talking about because of external things that you do, but I'm talking about how you deal with people. Do you know God? You know God, because you have a whole lot to say about everybody's life. You know God? Are you obeying God? Because right now your actions are not aligning with obeying God. We want to pick and choose what our obeying God looks like. We want to obey God about sexual sin, obey God then, but don't obey God about gossip and slander and jealousy and envy and hatred. Which one you think God more concerned about? Which one you think? I know all sin is created equal. Which one do you think God more concerned about? The one that's going to impact more of his people. How you treat people, the stuff that we say to people, how we destroy people with our mouth. So you think your sexual sin, the fact that you slept with somebody is worse somehow than the fact that you spew venom every time you open your mouth? Baby, you missed it. You missed it. You missed it. Now, in the ideal world, we would be without sin, but we know that none of us are without sin. We all have sinned. And so, just like Jesus told them when the woman was there and they caught her in the very act of adultery, yes, she was committing adultery. Sexual sin, is that a sexual sin? I just want to check. Is that a sexual sin, adultery? Is that a sexual sin? I'm just checking for the people in the back. Is that a sexual sin? Because I thought adultery was a sexual sin. I thought that meant that she was sleeping with somebody, a man that was not her husband, a husband, but not her husband. That's what that is, right? Jesus said, this is what Jesus said. I'm talking about Jesus. If anybody had a right to condemn that woman, it was Jesus. What Jesus said, as he wrote in the dirt with all those men around, probably one of whom was the one that she was caught in the very act with, right? Jesus writing in the dirt. He said, let he who is without sin cast the first stone. Where'd they go? He didn't say, let he who is without sexual sin cast the first stone. No. He said, let he who is without any sin cast the first stone. He continues, writing in the dirt. One by one. They walk away, starting with the oldest, because he done committed the most sins. He done lived the longest, committed the most sins. Let me go and tip. I bet if they was in the Baptist church, they would put that finger up, honey. Let me tiptoe. I gotta go to the bathroom. You ain't gotta go to the bathroom. You know that you are not without sin. But yet you want this woman to be condemned to death for a sin she committed with someone else, and the other person is not even held accountable. In that example, Jesus shows us that sin is sin. And if you don't want to get stoned for the lie you told to the bill collector when you told them, oh, they not here. No habla inglés. Why are you going to try to destroy someone else for what you perceive is a greater sin? No. Obeying God is simply doing the very best that we can to comply with God's request for us. And I say requests for this reason. He always gives us a choice. He says, do this. Now we can say yay or we can say nay. He never forces us. Now, he may maneuver situations and circumstances so that you get to the point where you like, listen, I'm tired. I'm going to just do what God wants me to do. But his preference is that we would simply obey him. Now, I'll be the first person to tell you that I definitely don't always get that one right. That obey God when I don't always get that one right. There's some stuff I'll be like, God, I'm trying, but this right here, I'm just going to be real with you because that's all I can do. This is a struggle for me. Other things are easier for me. But many times what God will do is he'll require something of me that I do not want to do. And I'll be like, really? But because I know he knows the end from the beginning, I've come to understand that as much as is within my power and as much as I can, I try to obey him. Now, I'm like, Paul, honey, there's a thorn in my flesh, and I prayed 3 times for the thorn to be removed, honey. But listen, the thorn did pop up every now and then, so I have to deal with that. But when God says go, I try to go. When he says do, I try to do. When he says speak, I try to speak, even if it's not popular, even if it makes me look bad. See, that's the problem. We often don't obey God because of how it'll make us look to other people. I looked crazy as a bedbug moving to North Carolina with my daddy that I'd never met. Looked crazy. But I didn't care because God told me to go. And when God told me to leave my daddy and go to South Carolina, I'm like, South Carolina, I don't know. I'm trying to make it make sense. Okay. I just try to make stuff make sense. Okay. I'm like, well, I don't know. Well, maybe it's because of this man. I don't know. I'm trying to make it make sense. Like, I'm trying to make it make sense for me. But no, it ain't the man. Well, who do I have in South Carolina? And I discover my aunts there and my cousins. And I go staying with a friend, thinking that I'm going to be staying with a friend. I end up staying with my aunt. She ends up opening her home to me. And then I understand why. God wanted me to build that spiritual connection with her. He had me covered. He had me in the house. She's praying. She's covering me. Like she's speaking life into, like I needed her. And she fly. And I saw myself. And I'm like, wow. There were things that had to happen inside of me where I needed to be with her. And then when God told me to come to Kentucky, I had to come. I'm like, I'm looking real crazy right now. I've lived in 4 states in 1 year. What in the world is going on? God was breaking me from feeling like I got to know the answers. No, you got to obey me. Go when I tell you to go. Speak when I tell you to speak. Do what I tell you to do. And shut up when I tell you to shut up. And sit down when I tell you to sit down. Just do that. The beauty of it is, though, and we've been doing this exercise called the 3 gifts. So you take any situation and you find the 3 gifts in the situation. So I'm going to talk about the 3 gifts in me moving so much this year. 4 states, 1 year. Well, the first gift is this. I've had the opportunity to spend time with family and really get to know people, right? You know people when you live with them. See, that's when you really know people. You know, like other than that, people can show you whatever they want to show you. But when you live with people, you get to know them. And God has had me on a journey getting to know my family, right? Getting to know them and love them regardless. Do you understand? And for them to get to know me and love me regardless. Because believe me, I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm not saying that. I already told y'all I'm not. Okay. That's one gift. The second gift is in all of this movement, without me being stuck in one geographical location for a long period of time or having a job there, it's allowed me to go and spend more time with my children in various places. So I've been able to spend more time with my kids. I've been more intentional about doing it because I didn't feel like I had to be tied to a certain geographical region. That's a blessing. It means I spent more time with my grandchildren. I've been able to catch up with my kids, and our relationship has been deepened. The third gift, is I'm mobile so that when my husband finds me, wherever he is, wherever we move, I'm not stuck to one. And I'm gonna tell y'all, because if you'd have asked me in 21 would I leave Florida, I'd have been like, no, I'm not leaving Florida. I love Florida and I love Tampa. Not only am I not leaving Florida, I'm not leaving Tampa. That would have been my stance. But after this year, not only was it I left Florida, but I've lived in North Carolina, South Carolina, and back in Kentucky. So now when people ask me, where are you going to live, or where do you want to live, or how long are you going to be there? Are you going to get your own place? Listen, I tried that in South Carolina. It did not work. Because if I had my own place in South Carolina, I would not have been able to move so easily to Kentucky. Y'all see how that works? God is very deliberate, and what doesn't make sense to you in the moment will make sense down the line, but you got to get to down the line. That means that you just got to obey God. And I was mad with God about that, baby. I wanted this apartment so bad. I just wanted my own place, my own space. Who knew? Because I didn't, that within 2 months I would be gone from South Carolina. I would have been in a whole lease. Y'all listen, I'm trying to tell y'all what God loved, and that's the truth. Okay. So you've got to find yourself. Let me put it back up there. Love yourself just like you are, imperfections and all, every bit of you, and obey God. Whatever he says, regardless of what people think, regardless of what people say, just obey God. Okay. Now listen, we almost done. We at the home stretch. Okay. We got to find yourself, love yourself, obey God. Mm, mm, mm. Now I got, Lord Jesus, hold on, hold on, hold on. Hmm. Okay. I had to make sure I put this right. Then the W. W, work God's vision for you. Now, listen, this is where you can disagree with Coach Prime. You can disagree with me. You can disagree with whoever, but this is what I'm going to tell you. You must work God's vision for you. I know the text says, write the vision and make it plain so that he who reads it might run and not faint. But listen, let me tell y'all this. If you're just writing your vision, okay, your vision is not necessarily God's vision for you. Because I'm gonna tell y'all what my vision was for my life. Listen to me. And my life has so not been like this. So my vision was that I would go to school, I would get my degrees, and then when I realized that I was going to be a PhD, that I was going to be a professor, I wanted to teach at an HBCU and retire from an HBCU. That's what I wanted. I went to Kentucky State University, and my desire was to go to Kentucky State University, teach there, stay there, retire there, spend 40 years, 30 to 40 years teaching there in that space, pouring into the lives of young Black people, right? People who looked like me, who, could benefit from seeing me, being in that atmosphere. So this is why I can kind of understand. Look, that's what I wanted, right? However, that was not God's plan for me. So I remember getting an offer for a tenure track job at um University of Nebraska Lincoln, right? I go, I interview, I negotiate, like I do all that stuff, right? But really, I want to stay at Kentucky State. That's what I want to do. So I go and I have a meeting with the department chair, and he says, "Well, we don't have the money, we don't have a real position." I was making probably about $25,000 a year as an instructor. Okay. He said, "We don't have money, we don't have, we can't really compete. You might want to talk to the president." So I go talk to the president, who is a Black woman, right? She's a Black woman. And I'm like, I just know that this Black woman is going to welcome the opportunity to have a young African-American female PhD faculty member committed to the institution. Like, I just know that that's going to be the case, right? I go into the meeting and the lady looks me in my face and I tell her, "Well, this is the situation. I have an offer, da 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 da." She said, "Well, baby, you have to do what's best for you." I want this to be best for me. You have to do what's best for you. Translation, we're not going to create no position, tenure track, and we're not getting ready to put no money into no position to keep you. It don't matter that the students love you. It don't matter that you're changing lives. Baby, you got to do what's best for you. And I said, wow. So I went to Nebraska. And I went to Nebraska thinking, okay, God, well, if I'm not going to be there, I'm going to be here. I'm going to teach here 30 years and retire. Nope. 3 years. Got violently sick. Had to leave. Went to Georgia. I'm thinking, okay, Lord, so this is it. I'm going to be here. Da, 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 da. 3 years. What I tell y'all about prophets and that movement? Each place I had an assignment. Each place there were things that I did. I developed the first African American communication courses at the University of Nebraska Lincoln. Listen, I was a part of foundational history in the African American Communication and Culture Division of the National Communication Association. I was one of the founding officers of that division. Listen, I'm telling you, as a young person in my 20s, I was a part of foundational stuff and laying foundation. But do you know what I realized? That God's vision for me was bigger than just the academy. God's vision for me and his need for me went over into ministry. It went over into entrepreneurship and business. It went over into all of these different realms of education. And had I stayed at Kentucky State University as an instructor making $25,000 a year in a place where the president told me out her own mouth that I needed to do what was best for me, I would have not impacted so many lives that I was called to impact because I wanted something. I had my vision for my life and I was unwilling to obey God and work with his vision for my life because his vision was inconvenient. His vision made me look unstable. His vision didn't align with what I wanted for my life. His vision, I didn't like the way it made me feel. I didn't like the way it looked. I didn't like what I had to go through. I didn't like it, but God knew that I needed it in order to prepare me for where he's taking me because what he's not done with me. This is not it. This is not it. But he knew that I needed to go through these different things and these different steps and different stages, not just for me, but for the lives that I would impact. You see, all my life, I have been at major sports-based institutions, basically. So teaching, getting my degrees at the university. And my integrity was tested. That's what I'll say. My integrity was tested. But what I know was that I walked away with my integrity intact, right? In situations that I easily could have made some really good money, but my integrity would have been compromised. I walked away with my integrity intact, okay? So what I know about that W is that when you work God's vision for you, it ain't about all these other people. It's about you. Now, other people will be impacted. But let me tell you something I realized about people. People love you when you're doing what they want you to do. They love you when they got access to you. They love you when it looks the way they think it should look. Oh, they love you. But if God says that you got to go or you got to do something differently, the very things that they used to love about you, they despise about you. The very things that drew them to you, they begin to despise about you. And then you become selfish and self-centered and egotistical, and it's all about you. But you better work God's vision for you anyway. And if I could have a conversation with Coach Prime, which he don't need no conversation, I'm just saying, I would say to him, bruh, you completed your task and God is well pleased with you. Continue on. Next. We don't like next. We don't like goodbyes. We don't like endings. And that's our problem. That's why we stay stuck and we refuse to grow, because when you grow, you expand. Y'all, I'm telling you, that's why our understanding of love is so, love to us is constricting. I own you. I don't own you. I don't want to own my husband. And my husband is not going to own me. Let's be real clear. This is not about ownership. What is it about, Dr. V? Real love gives people the opportunity to choose, the same way God gives us the opportunity to choose. If you want to model your love after anything or anyone, model it after God's love. Why? God's love is the ultimate love, because he loves us when we jacked up. He loves us when we're doing what he wants us to do. He simply loves us because we are. He don't love you because you're a certain size. He don't love you because you are part of a particular religion or denomination. He just loves us. Period. We miss it. We think love is, I now own you. I control you. Well, I don't want you to do this. Well, I want you to do that. Well, and there's nothing wrong with having preferences. There's nothing wrong with it. But baby, be careful about how you show love. Listen, and if I love you and you make a request of me, and it's not something that is counter to what God is telling me, my love should allow me to be flexible enough to meet your request. Not because you made me, you understand? But because I love you, and my love wants to do things that's going to please you, things that are going to make you happy. See, if we would practice love like that, not just in romantic relationships, in our friendships, in our business dealings, in our relationships with our children, in ministry relationships, we would produce healthier relationships. If we would give people permission to exit stage left when something is no longer beneficial to them, then we won't have to be mad because somebody left. You ought to want people to work God's vision for their life. And if you don't, do you love them? Or do you just want to control them? I choose. I'm just talking about me. I choose to inform people that I'm in relationship with: ministry, business, friendship. Listen, if at any point, especially ministry, if at any point in business, this no longer works for you, let me know. Just let me know so that I can bless you on the way out. Let me know. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Now, have there been times when I didn't want people to leave? Absolutely. But I'm not going to hold you against your will, because that's not love. That's bondage. That's slavery. That's what that is. If I love you, I'm going to let you be free to take your journey. So one of the things that I'm known for saying is everyone has their own journey. And if you will focus on your own journey instead of everybody else's journey, maybe, just maybe, you would get further into your destiny, get closer to it. But because you're so busy trying to control everybody else's, tell them what they need to do, should have done. Listen, I had to learn this. I didn't always know it. I hadn't always mastered it. But I had to master the art of releasing people, master the art of goodbye, master the art of no. I'm still working on the no thing. Sometimes I struggle with a no, right? Master the art of no, master the art of the release. Because if people won't release you, they don't love you. They control you. Y'all better check y'all's relationships. I know y'all don't want to hear that, but that's the truth. Sometimes what people say is love, it's not love, it's control and manipulation. And I think the word of God said that was witchcraft. I'm just saying, I'm saying what the words say. Stay in the flow. There are things that God is trying to do in your life, places he's trying to take you, things that he's trying to get you to, right? And it requires you to be in the flow. So, look, what God showed me about flow and about vision and about purpose and even setting our vision, right? What he's shown me is so tied into our ability to identify those things that are self-sabotaging behaviors. And y'all hear me talk about it all the time now, because let me show you what I discovered. I discovered if you destroy the saboteurs, those self-sabotaging behaviors that are rooted in childhood. Now, this brought everything together for me because y'all know I talk about childhood, I talk about trauma, I talk about survival mechanisms, I talk about strengths, I talk about personality, I talk about love language. But baby, these saboteurs, baby, when you begin to identify what your saboteurs are, you'll understand why you do what you do, the way you do, all of that. It will begin to make sense to you. And as you kill those saboteurs, you remove the shackles from your feet, from your arms that have prevented you from really expanding and becoming who God has created you to be. Who you were created to be from the time God deposited you in your mother's womb and breathed life into you. Listen, I'm telling you, because those are the things that get in the way. You get in your own head. I was listening. Listen to this. I was listening, and God just will take me places, right? So I'm just following God. He got me watching these videos, right? So I'm watching this video, and this man is talking about the time that he met Will Smith, right? He met Will Smith, and um um they were working on a development deal. He was a producer. They were working on a development deal, and they said, hold on, y'all, let me put this up here. So yeah, if y'all want to sew into me, Cash App $DRV Walters, Cash App $DRV Walters, or PayPal.me/DRV Walters. But let me put this up here. I want to put the vision stuff up, and then I'm gonna go ahead and continue talking. Okay. So he said that he had an opportunity for this production deal, but Will Smith needed to like him. So they arranged for Will to meet him. So he was going to meet Will, and he's talking to his daddy, and he's telling his daddy, he's younger. He's telling his dad, yes, I'm getting ready to meet Will Smith. Da, 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 da. And he said, all right, he said, that's great. Just be careful. He said, what you mean? He said, well, sometimes, these celebrities in Hollywood, I've heard, they try to sleep with people. So I just don't want you to be caught off guard. Right. So he meets with Will, and Will likes him. Will says, hey, you want to watch a movie? He was like, what? You want to watch a movie? He was like, sure. So he's okay. Well, meet me at Planet Hollywood. Da, 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 da. He goes to Planet Hollywood, and he tells the hostess, I'm here to meet Will. Is Will Smith here? And she points to a cutout in the bed, right? She's like, no, I'm not talking about that. No, the real person. She was like, no, they don't really hang out here. So eventually someone comes. He said, well, do you mind if I wait? No. So he's waiting. Someone comes to the door and says, hey, are you so-and-so? Oh, come on downstairs. So he goes downstairs. Will is down there. Well, Will's not down there. There are all these other people down there. All these black men down there. He's a white guy. And then Will comes in with DJ Jazzy Jeff, right? And so they watch American Pie. That was a little suspect to me, but hey, I'm just telling y'all what the man said. So Will talks to him, and he says, did you like the movie? And he was like, yeah, it was cool. He was like, okay. Well, what about, did you enjoy the guys? And he was like, still trying to figure out if he's trying to sleep with him. So he was like, well, they seem cool. He said, well, I know you said that, you like hip hop, did you enjoy meeting Cool Mo D? And he was like, what? That's who that was, right? So he had met these people. He didn't really know who they were. So Will says, well, hey, listen, do you want to watch another movie tomorrow? He was like, yeah, sure, right? So they set the time and everything. He stands him up. So he's talking about it. He says later he and Will end up working on something together. And Will said, man, you stood me up. And, who stands Will Smith up? And he was like, I know, I'm sorry, But he said what happened was he got in his head and he said, well, did he really want to invite me, or did he just invite me being nice? That's self-sabotage. How many times have you talked yourself out of doing something, talked yourself out of taking a chance on you, talked yourself out of you being qualified or you being good enough? Oh, that's self-sabotage. How many times have you found yourself feeling like you gotta do? You gotta accomplish this, accomplish that, but never feeling satisfied? That's self-sabotage. How many times have you found yourself trying to protect yourself, your children, and everyone around you from any danger in the world and any situation? You automatically see the danger. Danger, Will Robinson, danger. All you focus on is the danger in every situation. That's self sabotage. How many times have you found yourself in a place where you move from one thing to another, to another, to another, trying to find the latest, the greatest, the newest, the shiniest? That's self sabotage. Look, all of these things are ways that we sabotage ourselves, right? And there's some more, right? But the biggest one is that we judge ourselves, other people, and situations. We call them good or bad, positive, negative. We put these judgments on ourselves, other people, and situations instead of being open to exploring, what am I to get from this? What am I to gain from this? You see, the woman that was caught in the act of adultery, even after Jesus said, "Woman, where are thine accusers?" And she said, they all left. And he said, "Neither shall I condemn you. Go and sin no more." And she could have walked away from that and said, well, maybe he didn't really mean that. Maybe he was just playing with me. Or maybe he's going to come back later and he's going to try to sleep with me. Self-sabotage. Jesus taught us time and time again that what he didn't have strings attached to it. That his whole goal was to free people, to liberate them. He came to set the captives free, to heal the sick, give sight to the blind, hearing to the deaf, a voice to the mute, the ability to walk to the lame, to cleanse lepers, to give joy to those who were in mourning. If you are serious about doing what it is that God has for you to do, stay in the flow. But it means that you've got to get clear on what that looks like. This month, the end of the month, I'm doing my 2023 vision retreat. Now, you may not be able to come live. If you're able to come live, that's great. It's from the 26th through the 30th. Check out on the 30th. It provides lodging and at least one meal a day. We're going to be in Nashville, Tennessee, but it's designed to bring all the pieces together to get you clear, right? So you can clearly see yourself, you can find yourself, love yourself, obey God, and work the plan that he has for your life. On the 28th, we're doing a vision session. And that vision session, you can come to live, right? On the 28th, it's an all-day thing, from 10 in the morning to that evening. I haven't set that cutoff time yet, but we're going to be getting God's vision for your life. Not yours, God's vision for your life. And then you're going to create your vision board. We're going to learn how to engage in visualization so that you can see yourself having what it is that you say, whether it's peace, joy, love, or things that are material, successes, whatever it is. That book in your hand, opening the pages of it, reading it. Like, we're going to do all of that. You can do it live in person, women only for the retreat, the live retreat. You can do the live vision session, women only for the live vision session, or you can do it online. Online for the retreat, just women. For the vision session, it's open to everyone. Okay. Why did I do this? Listen, this is not what was supposed to happen. I'm just going to tell y'all. I'm going to be honest with y'all. What was supposed to happen was me and my girlfriends were going to get together. Me and my crew, my inner circle, we were going to get together and we were going to just be together, right? God said, no. God said, open it up. God said, this is bigger than you all and your relationship. Okay. What did I tell you? You got to find you. See, I've been finding me. I know me, right? You got to love you, flaws and all. I love me. And you got to obey God. So when God said that, I said, okay. Now, if I'm not clear that it's God talking, okay, I'll ask a question, right? I said, well, what do y'all think about this? I'm going to ask a question. If I know God said it, I'm going to say what God said, and I'm going to do what God said. So God began to make it clear to me that it was bigger than me and just my inner circle, that this was for us to help people. If you're one of those people, I encourage you to go ahead and register at bit.ly/Dr. V Vision 2023. If you are a man and you're saying, well, I know I want to get my vision set. I know that I need to do that. Don't let this pass you by just because there are going to be women there. And I'm going to tell y'all something, men. I'm going to talk to the men for a minute. Men, a real woman wants a man with vision. Because if you don't have vision, what am I following? If you've not gotten clear on your vision, God's vision for your life, period, or even for 2023, this is an opportunity to do that. Now, I encourage you to do it. Now, the beautiful thing is the online vision session is $75. The live vision session is $100. The retreat, now listen to this. This is 5 days, 4 nights retreat, including lodging and 1 meal a day. $380. Y'all, come on now. That's a giveaway. That's a giveaway. To come in and change your life, that's a giveaway. I teach online classes that cost more than that. Do y'all hear what I'm telling y'all? And you get lodging and a meal and the information to grow. Come on, y'all. What? Listen, it's going to be a game changer. Afterpay is available. You can pay it in payments, in installments. If you are serious about changing your life, do something. Don't talk about it, be about it. Do something. Commit to you. And if you say, well, I don't really have the money, I got a whole problem with you. And I'm going to tell you why I got a problem with you. If you say, I don't really have no money. If you don't believe that God can provide the resources needed for you to do this, when all you need to do the vision session online is less than $20 every 2 weeks and $20 in your bank account right now, and approval by Afterpay, that's a problem. If you do the whole freaking stay retreat, 380 divided by 4. If you don't believe God to provide for you, you don't believe God. Come, wait. I'm like Jesus. Oh, yeah, a little faith. That's why Jesus was like that with them. Oh, yeah, a little faith. Well, come on, y'all. Put a demand on God and watch what God does. I'm going to tell y'all something. If you feel like you're being stretched, it's because you are. If you feel like, God is taking you to the edge, it's because he is. If you feel like, oh, well, I don't know if I can do this. Should I do this? Ask yourself this question. Ask yourself this question. What did your gut say? Like when you heard it. Did your baby leap? Did something leap inside of you? Like, ooh, I need to do that. If you felt that, listen to me. That was the Spirit of God inside of you saying, hey, you need to do that. Then here comes your logic, your self-saboteurs, okay? Your saboteurs, your self-sabotaging behaviors, saying, well, you really don't have no money for that. And it's the holidays and you're going to be getting ready to go into the new year. Go into the new year crystal clear then. Do that. Go into the new year knowing exactly what it is that God has for you to do, with a plan that is actionable, creating new connections and relationships, closing out some things, closing some doors that have held you hostage, breaking through and breaking free. Because you're not going to come up in there to this retreat and think you're going to leave and you're going to be the same as you were when you came. You are not. You will not. You cannot be. I don't care. You can come in and think, oh, I'm not going to change. Oh, you going to change. Why? The anointing is designed to break yokes. And that's the anointing that's on my life. I've got a yoke breaking anointing. And it don't even have to take no long time. Okay. And even in the vision setting session, folks gonna get set free. Period. It's who I am. It's how God has made me. It's how he's wired me. It is his plan for my life to set the captives free. So I'm just telling y'all, if you find yourself kind of stuck and you want to break through, come hang out with us. Spend some time with us. And let me share with you what God has been showing me, which is actionable. Listen, this is not just about creating no vision board and, it's cute and you put it up. No, 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 no. There's more to manifesting the vision that God has for your life than just put the pictures on a board or on your phone, right? And I'm going to teach you how to do digital and physical vision boards. But listen, there's more to it. And there's some things that God needs us to understand so that we can take control of our lives and our circumstances, because we've been going around in default. And God is not a default God. God is an intentional God. He is a creative God. He is a God of freedom and liberty. That's why the word of God declares where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is liberty. What is liberty? Freedom. Freedom. Freedom with responsibility. Freedom with accountability. This is going to be a game changer. So look, go to bit.ly/DRV Vision 2023 and register today. If money is an issue for you and you say, Dr. V, I really want to do it. I tried Afterpay and I didn't get approved. Listen, you won't be the first person that didn't get approved for something. It's okay. Don't judge yourself and say, well, I can't tell her that I couldn't get approved for Afterpay, so I just can't do it. No, no, no. What you do is you hit me up and you say, Dr. V, I really want to attend. I tried Afterpay. It did not approve me. Are there any other options that you can work out with me? See, I respect that. That's gangster to me, because I know what it's like to be in that place. And I'm going to look at your situation. I'm going to say, well, hey, let's put our heads together and figure out how to make this happen for you. If the Scientologist, let me talk for a minute, can require everyone who does one of their classes to pay $50, even homeless people. Listen. And when the homeless person says, well, I don't have the money, and they sit down with them and help them come up with a plan to get the $50 to take the course that has the potential to change their life. You think me as a prophet of the Most High can't help you come up with a strategy to come up with $75? I can give you one thing you can do and create $75. Listen, oh, if you really want it bad enough, oh, you can come up with the resources. You know what our problem is? That's our excuse for not doing something that may shake up our life. So call it what it is. An excuse. An excuse. Let's move the excuses. Let me help you. Help you. Okay? And let's watch what God does with it and how he gets the glory out of it. I want God to get the glory. See, God don't get the glory if you got the money just sitting there. Like, there's no, like, he specializes in those situations where you're like, well, I don't even know how I'm paying my light bill. How am I going to do this class? And then God says, hey, listen, this is what I'm going to do. Boom, boom, boom. And you're like, wow, God, really? You did that? Look, God wants you free. He wants you to be free. He wants you to be clear. He wants you to have vision, his vision for your life. He wants you to stay in the flow, but you can't be in the flow when there is no flow. You got to create flow. Some of you have money blocks. Money blocks are designed to keep money from flowing in your life. If you got a money block, what has to happen is that money block has to be removed. Money blocks. We're going to talk about money blocks at the retreat. We're talking about all that. We're going to talk about money blocks. See if you have any money blocks, where they come from, what they're rooted in. Baby, we getting ready to move stuff out the way. Why? Because then you do not have an excuse for not pursuing the vision that God has for your life. Go register. If you're not approved for Afterpay, hit your girl up. Let me help you help yourself. Now, I'm not going to do it for you, but I will help you help you. I'm not going to give you the fish. I'm not going to catch the fish, clean the fish, fry the fish, and then just feed you. No, no, no. I'm going to teach you how to fish with me. I'm going to teach you how to catch the fish. I'm going to teach you how to clean the fish. And then I'm going to teach you how to fry it. We got to do something. It's time. So go register. The link is there. You know, if this word has blessed you and you want to sow a seed in my life, the information is there. Cash App, $DRV Walters, PayPal.me/DRV Walters. Listen, I just want you to know I'm concerned about you and your success. I want you to win. I want you to win. And I believe in you. So let's get clear for 2023. Let's put it in let's put it in play. Let's set it up. And I'm going to tell y'all something. Before we leave on the 30th, things will be different. You're going to be different. And you're going to understand that you have the ability to change your situations and your circumstances. Now, I'm going to refresh because I know y'all been talking to me and I can't see no comments. So I'm going to refresh. Hold on, y'all. Okay. See, I knew y'all had been talking to me. I knew it. 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 It was good to see you, class. Hey, Sheila. Good to see you. Hey, Kareem. Oh, thank you, boo. 4 gifts for each season, for each 4 season, and you moved 4 times. Oh, yes. It was a blessing in that 4. Come on now. I received that. I received that. Yes, yes, yes. Now, look, y'all, I'm going to get off here, but know this. Know that I absolutely love you all to life and life more abundant. Let's have an amazing, incredible day and stay in the flow. Find you, love you, obey God, and work God's vision for you. I pray that you guys have a blessed day. Yeah, love you to life and life more abundant. Mwah. Be blessed.